Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is officially my first video as your doula Grace, and I thought that there would be no better way to kick it off with what is a doula? What does a doula even do? How do they support you, whether you're having like a home birth, hospital birth, birth center birth, even a C-section? How do we support you in postpartum, work with midwives, OBs, primary care providers? What's the difference between a doula and a midwife? Like all those different things, I thought we should answer them today. My name is Grace Pastek. I make videos all about doula life, motherhood, and content creation. You can check out my Instagram page, which we also just branded, so that is Your Doula Grace now. I also am the owner of a white birth pool company called Birth Pools by Grace, and we have rentals all over, including Edmonton, Calgary, and Saskatchewan. So I have been a doula for 2 years now, and it has been a huge experience. So much has happened in these past few years, which is why I'm sitting in front of you today. I made another video similar to this, which I will take here, which is how do I serve you specifically as a doula? So myself, my own personal clients, and the relationship that I've built with OBs and midwives in my community. So you can check that out there. But this video is going to be more broad. This is going to cover in general what a doula does. And something I want to mention is that you need to find the right doula for you. I always suggest interviewing a few different doulas, maybe following them even pre-pregnancy, and then booking them as soon as you get pregnant, because usually the ones that you do want can book up fairly quickly. But I only hired a doula at 37 weeks. I hadn't even heard of a doula until before that. So you can kind of do it whenever you want. You know, the stars will always align in your favor. I think that a doula is probably one of the most valuable services that you can invest in as an expecting parent, especially a first-time parent. Oh my gosh, I could talk about that forever. But everybody says, well, I don't know what to expect. A doula will teach you what to expect. I don't even think I need that extra support. You don't think you need it until you need it, and then trust me, you are so grateful to have it. So starting off, what is a doula? A doula is your support system, teammate, person to rely on, person to text at 2 in the morning, person you can call in labor who's going to coach you through, person who's going to take pictures and videos of your birth and help you put on a diaper freshly postpartum. A doula is so much. The word roots back to ancient Greek and the service of women, a literal servant to women. So that is something now when I feel like I'm struggling and I feel like as a doula, maybe, you know, there are times of overwhelm. I remind myself at the root of this, it is serving the community and the mothers and the birthers and the babies. And so that to you as a parent watching this, or maybe somebody who's inspired to become a doula, know that that should be the primary goal of your practitioner, is to serve you. So doulas are not technically a registered service like midwives or doctors. It is more of a freelance, personal entrepreneur, you get what you give kind of service. But I am a certified doula, and I recommend looking for doulas who have education and training. Certification just means that they have done the education, obviously, to support you, and that they are prepared to serve you properly. So it doesn't mean that every doula is certified, because you don't need certification to be a doula, but education, especially childbirth education, is such an important thing. And as a doula and somebody who works with a lot of families, you want somebody who is educated and confident. It is going to be the best person and investment that you make for this journey. So again, circling back to make sure you meet a few and look for the person that is right for your family. And now this support isn't just for birthers and moms. I think a huge part of this support is also for the partners. And it's not per se texting and like online portion of that, because there's some dads where it's not the texting, you know, online support that they need, similar to moms where we're talking all the time. It is the in-person, in the moment connection building, hand holding, making sure they're able to be present and understanding what's going on and educating them. It's that part for your partner. If you feel like your partner needs a boost, a doula is a great choice for you. If your partner travels for work, maybe they have an inconsistent schedule, maybe you have other kiddos and your partner has to take care of them. A doula is a person to support you in those moments. I think a big part of the role, especially to me, is just empowering you, helping you be confident, helping you regulate the idea of birth, and then supporting you actually in the moment and just helping you recognize what's happening in your body. There are so many benefits to hiring a doula. Reduced chance of cesarean, reduced chance of tearing, reduced chance of induction, reduced chance of emergency intervention, reduced chance of being scared, increased chance of having photos and videos of your birth, increased chance of having a positive experience, increased chance of breastfeeding if that is something that you want to do, increased chance of feeling good and supported and educated postpartum, and increased chance of overall just having a better experience. I could talk about the impact that I feel like I have made in my community and with these families and with these mothers and babies, but I would never be able to show you through a video camera. But as a doula and a mother who's had a doula, I think that it is really important to recognize that this service has been happening since the beginning of time. There has always been community in birth. You have always called on, that community midwife, that community doctor, that support person. Back in time, we used to be close with our families, our siblings. We used to have our mothers at our births. So doulas are not a new trend. They're not a new fad. They are not a luxury service. They are an essential support for you, especially too if you're having like third time, fourth time, fifth time, however many babies that you've decided to have. The doula will set up and take down your birth pool. They will clean up your home for you. They will make you breakfast. They will squeeze your hips. They'll set up your TENS machine. They'll make your environment really nice. I feel like I'm just gonna count off my fingers this whole entire video just to tell you what they do. A key point to doula support as well is emotional support. Pregnancy can be a little bit of a roller coaster, especially if you are high risk, you've had a traumatic birth before, this is, pregnancy after loss. A doula is there to guide you through full circle. I like to say to my clients, you are stuck with me until your kid probably goes to college, because there's never a time that motherhood support really ends. So we are here to listen to you, to validate your feelings, to support you and help explain what you're feeling when you're going through labor, because it can be hard to talk. It's just helping you navigate the challenges as they arise, and then making sure that you are able to make a choice that is informed, that is consensual, that is evidence-based, that you feel good in. Like, the role of a doula is not to advocate for you, but that line is very blurred. In my doula training, we were taught to be a fly on the wall, which I don't agree with, but I also can't speak for you medically. So I can't say, no, she doesn't want vitamin K injections for her baby. No, she doesn't want an epidural. No, she doesn't want an IV, because those things are technically medical choices that you need to consent to. But I can help you phrase certain things and help you convey the information by giving you a care goal sheet. So that's like a birth plan, that document. Doulas will usually build one with you so you can bring it to the hospital and go through it with your care practitioners. Next, I can use certain sample phrases like, hey, Erin, in your care goals, it said that you wanted to avoid routine use of getting your water ruptured. Is this still true? Hey, Matthew, in your wife's birth plan, she said that she wanted to go without an epidural for as long as possible, and she feels good with that still. Is that still the plan, you think? Like little things like that. And then the people in the room will be able to understand kind of the vibe and what we're setting the tone for. And that is how you make the experience more positive and better for everybody. Like, you just have to get creative. I think a lot of my job is being a negotiator, a little bit of a barterer. Like, I'm like, okay, like, let's rebuttal and figure out a way that we can get what we want, but we also have to respect medical birth and physiological birth and boundaries and scope and all those different things. So that's why you get to know your doula. You talk about all of the things. You learn about what the boundaries are, what the limits are, what they feel comfortable doing, what your role is as a parent or birth support partner in the moment. And again, makes it smoother for everybody. Research indicates that having a doula actually improves communication between the birthing parents and the medical practitioners. So again, it's not advocating, it's more just letting the room know what kind of birth we are hoping for, and then helping the parents convey what their wishes are if times come where we need interventions or maybe to change our birth goals. There are also lots of doulas out there. There's fertility doulas, postpartum doulas, virtual doulas, baby wearing doulas, mothering doulas. Like, you can find so many different kinds. I keep saying it over and over again, research the kind that works best for you and your family and your culture and what you want for your future, how you raise your babies, how they raise their babies. Like, there's so many good factors to look into here. So a lot of doulas offer lots of support outside of just like birth doula support. So myself, I offer baby wearing education, childbirth education, foster the fourth support, and then a little bit of birth photography and videography because I obviously have the supplies. Other doulas can offer belly wrapping support, placental encapsulation, newborn care, like so many different options. So if you are looking for something specific, just do a search online and you will be able to find them. I think that the relationship that I harvest with a lot of my clients is just being that listening, reassuring ear that they should listen to their intuition, that there are resources available for them out there, because that's a whole thing that we could talk about as well quickly, is that doulas have resources for the community, lactation consultants, chiropractors, prenatal massages, therapists, everything you could ever imagine. I have business cards for them right over there on my shelf. So that is why finding a doula who's in your community is super beneficial, but it's not a service that is accessible everywhere. To be honest, I have clients out on the East Coast and in Northern Canada in the territories where they don't have doulas, they don't have midwives. So virtual is the best that we can get. And that is something that I am forever grateful and will always offer for you. When it comes to labor and how all the things happen, each doula will tell you how to contact them. I'm a fan of over communication. I'm like, as soon as you feel something or you want a break, you reach out to me. We'll just kind of keep in touch periodically after that. But when it comes to working with midwives, I find that I prefer to work with midwives for my low risk, healthy, birthing mamas, whether they are at hospital or at home birthing center. The care that they give is more informed, it's more evidence-based, it is more consensual, it is more holistical and physiological birth-based too. So that aligns with me better as a doula, but that's not the right fit for every family. And they're also super hard to get in with in my province. So I do work at a lot of hospitals with a lot of OBGYNs, and I love births like that as well. I think the role between doula and OBGYN, there's a lot of room for improvement of what we could do and stereotypes that we could break down. But the reality is that there was a time where doulas weren't controlled or like-minded, and maybe some people have had bad experiences, but that shouldn't reflect on us as a whole, like a whole service in general. You get one bad haircut, you're not going to never go to a hairdresser again. It's searching and trying and persevering and believing and continuing on with that. So the first time I worked with an OB, I was terrified, but then now I feel so much more confident, and I look forward and have fostered a relationship with a lot of doctors in my city. Okay, so let's talk comfort measures. A doula is going to teach you how to cope and accept and work through the waves of contractions that you have during labor. It can truly just look like a familiar touch, being like, you got this, breathe, exhale it down, relax your eyebrows. Like, I'll put you into a haze if I start to use my doula voice just like that. But it can also be the hip squeezing, the TENS machine, the shower, using a birth pool, just vocal hypnobirthing support, spinning babies techniques. There are so many different ways that your doula will teach you and your partner how to get through labor, but my biggest advice is to just regulate it. Labor is normal. You are safe. This pain is normal. It has a purpose, and it brings you your baby. And just repeat that over and over. Brings me a baby. It's purposeful. It is intermittent, and there's nothing you can do but go into it. It's the acronym PAIN, basically. But what I'm trying to teach you you is that the doula is going to be there for you prenatally, so throughout your pregnancy, to help you with any fears or wonders or things you're wondering about in birth, and then in birth, hands-on support. So first breastfeeding moments, helping you get comfortable postpartum, helping you move with an epidural, helping you push in different positions, helping you navigate having conversations with your care practitioners. There's so many different ways that this can go for you. So that is all that I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good idea of what a doula is, how they can support you, and now you are excited. Go off into the world and find one. I can't wait, and I'm wishing you the best birth. Don't forget to check out my Instagrams, which we just rebranded, Your Doula Grace and Birth Pools by Grace. I post videos on Monday, so hit notify and subscribe because we are launching a podcast telling the birth stories of my clients soon. If you have any questions about doula support or finding a doula or whatever questions come to your sweet minds, please drop them down below. I will respond to you and help you out there. I will see you in the next video.